Hello and welcome back to another video of Formula 1 Challenge 1995. Today is race 10 of the season, the Hungarian Grand Prix, which also happens to be our home race. So normally I would say that expectations should be or will be high, and we're aiming for a good position or even a podium. However, this is not gonna be the case on this one because, well, during the free practice sessions, we've already seen a bit of the tire wear. So, yeah, it will make things difficult. By the way, if you haven't checked the previous video, go and check it out. The German Grand Prix, it's been a really good one, despite the result. And, well, a fairly unexpected winner. So, without further ado, let's go over to the qualifying session and see where we end up on the track. Let's go. And here we are in the qualifying session. So as I mentioned in the intro, the tire wear is massive. So you've heard me complaining about the horrid tire wear in France. Hungary is worse than that. So the tires are able to take about 4, maybe 5 laps, and if you're careful you can extend it by 2 or 3, and after that it just becomes completely useless. So the plan is, well, a 4-stop strategy. So yeah, the goal is to try and get a good qualifying result, so at least we can get some advantage to the ones behind us, which might help us with the 4 pit stops that we'll have to do on this race. So certainly not gonna be an easy one. In fact, most of the race is gonna be a struggle. And, well, hopefully the car can take it, if the tires can't. And yeah, this time we hope to finish the race at least and not DNF out with an engine failure or a brake failure or just slide out. So yeah. And we're coming up to the finish line. And what's it gonna be? 126. And let's see where it takes us on the grid. So Hill, Alesi, Schumacher, Coulthard, Herbert, Berger, Häkkinen, Barrichello, and there we are on P9. It's actually not too bad. And behind us Morbidelli, Menzel, Salo, Irvine, Gasho, Verstappen, Panis, Katayama, Frentzen, Moreno, Lamy, Bouillon, Inoue, Diniz, Badouer, Montermini. And here we are on the grid. Damon Hill starting from pole position, followed the first time this season by the Ferrari from Jean Alesi. Schumacher only P3, Coulthard P4, Herbert, as usual, P5. So I think that's actually the worst qualifying session from Schumacher so far. Berger P6 in the other Ferrari. Häkkinen P7. Barrichello P8. And here we are on P9. Not a bad result, so let's just try and use this to our advantage. Morbidelli P10, Menzel P11. It's probably his best so far, actually. P12 Salo, Eddie Irvine on P13, Gasho P14. Our teammate Verstappen on P15, which is a very good result from him as well. So yeah, looks like our cars like this track. Brundle P16, Panis P17, Katayama 18. So as you see, there is no big gap between the two Ligier cars. Frentzen P19, not sure what he was doing. Moreno P20, probably the first time he's not last. Lamy P21, Bouillon P22. I'm really not sure what the Zobers were doing. Inoue P23, Diniz P24, Badoer, the winner from Germany, P25, and Montermini closes the grid. And here we already start the race. We go past Barrichello and Häkkinen, and right behind Berger we go past Berger as well. And now we're right behind Coulthard, who must have had a terrible start to be on P5, and we overtake him as well quite easily. So now we're chasing Johnny Herbert for P4. But as you can see, again, the far superior straight line speed of the Benetton and pretty much everyone else in front of us. And we go for the move in the chicane. And what's it gonna be? Yeah, Herbert backs off, so we're up to P4. So now we're right after Alesi. He's opening a bit of a gap, is 1 second ahead. But I think here on the last sector, especially closer to the finish line, like in the last two corners, we can actually catch up with him and go for the move maybe on the first corner. And here we go very, very close to Alesi. And here he leaves some space on the inside, and we just use it, slip right in, get the overtake done, and we're up to P3. So right now Michael Schumacher in front of us, and as you can see, in lap 3 we're already very close to him as well. However, in the straight line they can pull away as they always do, alongside with, I think it's Hill in the lead. Well, it's definitely Hill in the lead since Coulthard is already behind us. So now we try to do the same move as we did on Alesi, but we're just not close enough, and so just decide to follow him through and keep chasing and waiting for a better occasion to try and make a move on him. Well, that's not gonna be this corner either. Again, whenever they get the chance to pull away on the straight line, they do. And at the end of lap 8 we come out to the pits because at this point the tires were completely dead. I did about twice the distance that I was supposed to go on them. So here we are, our first pit stop. Don't seem too bad. 6.8, relatively good. And it looks like we're gonna be 9, 10. So now we're right behind Morbidelli, and I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that was Barrichello, I think, in the Jordan. So we go for a fairly aggressive move on Morbidelli here. Job done, up to P9, and now we're right after Barrichello. Now the plan is to take back as many positions as possible, because there's gonna be 3 more pit stops for us on this race. It's actually a pretty long one, 38 laps, and that on 50% race distance. And here we try to make the overtake, and it's done. So now we're up to P8, and Häkkinen is in front of us with a 5-second lead. And in lap 11 we're already pretty close to Häkkinen, closed most of the gap. His 5-second lead is gone. We go a bit wide in the first corner and just try to catch him here in the next combination. We go down the hill, and that's the corner in front where we're certainly not going to make an overtake because it's massively dangerous. It's really easy to go wide and just out of the track there. So we just follow him through, getting ready in the chicane. Make the move as we did in the past couple of times. And Häkkinen doesn't back off. He actually fights back, and on the next corner we can finally get the job done, up to P7. Now we're up to chase Berger. Yeah, Berger in the Ferrari for P6, so we could still be in the points. However, it didn't really work out, so by the time we actually closed the gap to Berger, where this is still a 1 second lead, we have to go out for another pit stop at the end of lap 16, as these tires are just unable to take it anymore. Again, we extended it a little, so 5-6 lap that these tires are able to take. We're about to do 7-8-ish laps with it, so yeah, at this point you can definitely feel the tire wear. It's more difficult to keep the car on the line, and just overall keeping it on the track. It's pretty much every movement makes it slide. And we're actually still pretty close to Berger despite running on completely worn tires, which is actually fairly cool, I think. And we're close to the pit stop by now. And yes, he can already pull away here. Just trying to be very careful not to take any risks. Don't want to end up in the hole. And here we are. And here you can see how much grip is left on these tires. We almost hit the wall on the way to the pit stop, so yeah. This is how much we overuse these tires. Slightly awkward pit stop again, because it's been a while we haven't seen any of these. And let's see what it's gonna be. 8.2, that was a horrible pit stop. So for now we're in P10, and yes, it is P10, so not too bad, I guess. And nothing really happened throughout the next couple of laps, so we were just basically doing what you can see on the top left. We were chasing Morbidelli and trying to get away from Mansell, and we actually couldn't close a 3 seconds gap to Morbidelli, so I'm not sure what they fueled that footwork with, but it was actually really fast. But at least we managed to open a bit of a gap to Mansell, so it's gonna be a bit more confident pit stop than it was before. Though we're definitely gonna lose a couple of positions, because I'm pretty sure that Mansell there acts as a bottleneck and everyone is within 2-3 seconds behind him. So hopefully this is gonna be a quick pit stop and they're not gonna fool around for 8 seconds like they did the last time, and 6-ish seconds would be alright. And let's see, so currently we're on P12, P13, 14, 7.7, not too bad, could have been better though. P14, and this is the moment where we just switch to anger mode and just drive like a madman, very aggressively, going for every single opening, no matter how risky it is. And we might even exercise a bit of dirty driving, pushing them out of the track, these kind of things, because at this point I was a bit fed up, to be honest, with all the tire wear and the fact that there is one more pit stop to go, and it's just ruining the entire race. So yeah, lap 25, and we're still on P14, closing up to Grundle. And as you can see, we go for a risky dive here and get the overtake done. Irvine goes out to the pit stop. That leaves Salo in front of us. And I think that might be Morbidelli in the footwork, but I'm not really sure. So we just go and try to chase them down to climb back at least to P10. Yeah, that's Morbidelli in the footwork. And in lap 26, we're already pretty close to Salo. Make a move and hit Mansell quite badly. So yeah, now you see how much I cared. Just went right into fence and all the way. I thought that it's one of the footworks. No, it's actually a McLaren, and it's Mansell that's on P10 right now. So now it's time to try to catch up with him again and make an overtake. Thankfully, our car didn't suffer a lot of damage. At least it's still drivable. I didn't feel anything bad. And I'm not sure if it's because of the damage or because he's out of fuel. Mansell goes into the pits. So we're back to P10, and there is Häkkinen ahead with a massive 16 seconds lead. So yeah, there is no way we're going to catch up with him before we have to make the next pit stop. So lap 27, we overtake Barrichello in the pits as he comes out, so we're up to P9. And at the end of lap 30, we come out to do our last pit stop, so that's gonna be 8 more laps on a set of tires that can do 5-6 lap. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, especially the last 2 laps. You're just gonna be sliding all over the place from corner to corner. It's probably gonna look more like a drift competition than Formula 1. And can we get back in front of Mansell? Yes, we can easily. And now Barrichello has the 16 seconds lead that Häkkinen had to us before we overtook Barrichello as he came out of the pit a few laps ago. So yeah, last 7-8 laps. And at the end of lap 38, as we barely have any fuel left, Schumacher wins the race. Damon Hill second, and just a couple of us still rolling around here. We actually managed to close most of the gap to Barrichello. As you can see, he only has a 7 seconds gap, mostly because he got stuck behind a couple of back markers, and this track is not very generous with overtakes, so it's quite difficult, and we go off the track a bit just for the sake of it on the last lap. And we're almost home. Here we are, the last corner, and this is it. P10. Not too bad of a race. We started from P9, finished on P10 with 4 pit stops, while everyone else only has to do 1. So yeah, not a bad result, I would say. Obviously, it could have been better. And here we are with the results and the constructors. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in Belgium. Goodbye.